ruling and opposition parties have tentatively agreed to pass the ratification bill for the Korea-China Free Trade Agreement at Monday's General Assembly. Two business groups have been selected to run internet-only banks in Korea, which is expected to change the dynamics of the financial industry. And Jeju Island's Olegil Trail has been exported to Japan's Kyushu Island, promoting Korean culture to residents and helping to boost the local economy. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Monday, November 30th. I'm Luke Clary. Lawmakers from both the ruling and opposition parties have tentatively agreed to pass the ratification bill for the Korea-China Free Trade Agreement at Monday's General Assembly. The two sides planned a plenary meeting for Monday to undergo the ratification process.
After 4 long days of talks, floor leaders of the ruling and opposition parties announced that the National Assembly's Foreign Affairs Committee meeting and plenary session will take place on Monday as scheduled and pass the ratification agreement bill for the Korea-China Free Trade Accord. Prior to the plenary session, the parties will each hold a General Assembly Monday morning to convince their members to ratify the bilateral trade bill and pass other pending motions. Once the tentative agreement is ratified at each party's General Assembly, party leaders will meet to sign the finalized bill. The parliamentary leaders have reportedly narrowed their differences on compensation plans for the industries, which stand to suffer losses from the Korea-China FTA. Damage compensations include subsidies for farmers and fishermen and sharing of trade profits. The two sides will also attempt to approve other motions until December 9th, the last day of the regular session. However, the two parties failed to make any significant progress on the sticky policy issues from next year's budget plan.
Two business groups have been selected to run internet-only banks in Korea, which is expected to profoundly change the dynamics of the financial industry through fierce competition with conventional banks.
Of the 3 applicants seeking to serve as internet-only banks, 2 have been selected. One is the Korea Kakao Bank run by the Kakao Group, and the other is K-Bank led by KT. Internet primary banks, which only provide financial services via the internet and smartphones, will launch their operations in the first half of next year. The selected banks have decided to launch loans for low-income customers at interest rates of about 10%. Financial authorities say some 13 million mid- and low-credit people are expected to benefit from the services of internet primary banks, while interest rates for loans provided by non-bank financial institutions will likely be cut.
인터넷 전문은행이 금융시장 내 건전한 경쟁을 촉진하고 금융산업 발전에도 기여할 것임을.
The launch of internet-only banks is also expected to simplify credit card payments and therefore alleviate the financial burden of small and mid-sized businesses stemming from high credit card commissions. Authorities also say that ordinary users will be able to conveniently perform financial transactions on their mobile devices and social networking services.
3D printing technology is coming in handy for national defense purposes. The hottest next-generation technology is being utilized to make such key parts as fighter jet engines, ultimately saving on costs and shortening supply times.
This is the F-15K, the South Korean Air Force's latest fighter jet. Inspection is stringent, as even a tiny defect could prove to be fatal for a pilot. A checkup reveals a worn-down engine component which helps discharge exhaust emissions. When the defective part is put inside a 3D printer, the machine discharges fine metal particles to restore the abraded section to as good as new. The price of a new component is around $34,500 and it takes 2 months to ship it from overseas. But with a 3D printer, it costs only about $2,600 and takes just 1/3 the supply time. The South Korean Air Force saves roughly $320,000 a year using the 3D printing repair method.
평시에는 군수지원 능력을 확대하고 전시에는 전투력 복원에 적극 기여했을 것으로 기대합니다.
A pilot project is also underway in the Army, in which a 3D printer is employed to produce parts for the UH-1 helicopter. The Korean Armed Forces plan to nurture 3D printing technicians to build the technological foundation for utilizing 3D printing for national defense by 2017.
The median age of the merchants at traditional markets is going up in line with the aging Korean society. But recently, many young people are joining conventional markets in a bid to help revive them.
On a weekday evening at a traditional market, this young man busily moves about. He receives orders from customers via his smartphone and delivers food produced at the market.
맛도 되게 좋은 편이고 저렴하기 때문에 소비자분들이 구매하시기에 부담 없으셨던 것 같다고 생각하고 있습니다.
Until recently, this market was relatively deserted, but now it bustles with activity.
매출이 대로도 뛰기도 했고 즐겁게 해서 대화를 함으로써도 좋기도 하고.
As more and more young merchants make their way into traditional markets, local governments have begun to provide greater support. This marketplace lost many of its customers after a massive fire 3 years ago. The local government decided to provide some of its empty stores to young entrepreneurs. 4 unusual stores have opened here already, and 12 more are to open early next year.
임대료 부분이 다른 부분에 비해서는 저렴한 편이고 재밌는 일도 있고 다양한 경험하고 있어요.
The average age of vendors at traditional markets currently stands at 56. Younger vendors who are under 40 make up only 1.5%. Thanks to enthusiastic young newcomers, traditional markets are regaining vitality instead of fading away into the past.
Jeju Island's Ole-gil Trail has been adopted and established in Japan's Kyushu Island, promoting Korean culture to residents and helping to boost the local economy.
New Ole trekking courses opened a week ago in the cities of Kurume and Minamishimabara in Japan's Kyushu Island. The two cities have no special ties with Korea, but things have changed since the two municipalities adopted the Ole-gil Trail. Local residents say hello in halting Korean to Korean tourists visiting the hiking paths. Welcoming messages and tour signs, written in Korean by the villagers themselves, are posted here and there across the village. The number of Japanese locals wanting to learn Korean has also spiked.
韓国の方がどんどん増えてくると思うので、これからはいろいろ韓国の方と触れ合ってお話ができればなと思っています。
Since 2/3 of the 70,000 annual visitors to the Ole trekking courses in Kyushu are from Korea, local residents are showing keener interest in Korean culture than at any other time in the past. Since the tourists bring enormous economic benefits, a number of local governments are vying to open Ole trekking courses in their cities. Jeju Island's Ole-gil Trail was exported to Kyushu in 2012, becoming the icon of Korea-Japan cultural exchanges. Small trekking paths on an island has become a wide avenue of culture, linking the peoples and cultures of the two countries.
Soccer games organized for children from multicultural families are helping kids with diverse ethnic backgrounds to adapt to Korean society. Take a look.
Children in uniforms gather in a circle to warm up ahead of a game. They stretch their bodies in the chilly weather and begin to practice their soccer skills in earnest. The kids roll on the ground with the ball in their hands and practice dribbling like the pros. Each of them gets a chance to shoot the ball into the goal. More than 80 children from both Korea and international families spanning 11 countries gathered at this soccer event. The workshop was organized by the Changwon Immigration Office for Multicultural and Korean Families. It was an opportunity for the children to make friends and embrace cultural differences.
같이 친구들이랑 팀을 만들어 축구도 하고 이기니까 재밌어요.
Soccer classes were provided by the Chogwangne Football Foundation, whose members volunteered their skills. The Changwon Immigration Office plans to hold more events in the future to help multicultural families bond with native Koreans.
Many traditional Korean houses called hanok have disappeared from urban areas amid redevelopment and reconstruction. However, the demolished hanok houses may live on thanks to a special facility that recycles time-worn materials into the construction of new hanok homes. Here's more.
A century-old pillar from an old house gains new life after being dusted and chiseled. This is the hanok Bank, which keeps aged construction materials collected from demolished hanok houses until new owners come to buy them. These timbers, which would have been discarded as construction waste, are moved to new places after they are newly trimmed and shaped.
이게 확 뜰 정도로 좋은 목재들이 있었습니다. 그래서 저희 집 이제 군데군데가 그 목재를 가져와서 이제 재활용해서 이제 과거와 또 현재와.
They are more popular than fresh lumber because they have grown stronger with few deformities, all from having withstood rain and wind for a long time.
건조가 잘 됐고 지금 한 5, 60년 이상 된 자재라 틀리지 않고 엄청 좋습니다.
Cornerstones and crossbeams from a hanok from the 1930s are reused for a new hanok restaurant. Crossbeams and pillars from hanok houses demolished for redevelopment are being recycled for new construction purposes.
More original musicals are enjoying huge popularity, some being staged for as long as 10 or even 20 years. Here are some of the long-running original musicals just as good as any Broadway show.
This original musical is based on a novel by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. It boasts emotionally appealing songs and delicate, tragic acting styles. The first musical to have a dedicated fan club, it has been running for 15 years.
너무 울어가지고 아무래도 사랑 얘기다 보니까 공감이 많이 갔던 것 같아요.
This original musical, Ballet or Laundry, is set in a destitute hillside village. Despite being staged in a small theater, it has attracted 500,000 viewers during its 10-year run. With its vivid depiction of the difficulties faced by low-income urban dwellers, the musical was exported to China and Japan.
우리 일상생활에서 있는 일들을 가지고 우리가 공감할 수 있고 또한 힐링할 수 있는
Long-running original musicals such as The 20-Year-Old Last Empress and The 10-Year-Old Finding Kim Jong-wook are demonstrating the potential of homegrown musicals to attain phenomenal success.
Scarves are an indispensable fashion item in the winter. Not only do they help you stay warm, they also give you a stylish look. We bring you tips on how to tie a scarf and what styles to choose this season. Scarves are a must-have fashion item in the autumn and winter.
요즘 날씨가 쌀쌀하잖아요. 그래서 목이라도 뭘 두르면 좀 따뜻할 것 같아서 스카프 구입하려고 왔습니다.
There are many different ways to wear scarves, but tying a scarf well is more difficult than it may look. Long, rectangular scarves as well as square ones are the most popular. To tie a rectangular scarf in an elegant way, take one end and tie the scarf in the middle. Drape it around your neck, insert one of the ends inside the knot, and pull it slightly. Here's how to tie a square scarf easily.
포인트가 되는 반지를 이용하시면 더 멋스럽게 연출하실 수 있으세요.
insert both ends of the scarf in a ring and pull them. Here's how to wear wool scarves. Drape the scarf around your neck, insert the upper strap inside, and pull it out. Twist the longer end of the scarf, cross it with the part around the neck 3 times, put the shorter strap inside, and pull it gently to create a voluminous and neat look. When the weather is icy, many people cover their faces with scarves to stay warm. Taking proper care of scarves is essential as they come into direct contact with the skin. As soon as you come home, shake off the dust from your scarf. Wash knitted scarves with hair shampoo and rinse. When washing scarves made of natural materials such as sheep wool, use a neutral detergent. When rinsing scarves, add some lemon juice to the water to prevent bacteria from breeding. When washing scarves made of fur, sprinkle some baby powder on the scarf first and shake it off to remove dust and dirt. By keeping your scarves clean and wearing them in a stylish way, you can stay warm in winter while looking great as well. Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.